All right, now I'm going to turn the microphone over to Ray Schwartz, who is the Executive Director of Venture House, and he's going to be the moderator of our second panel of the day, and he'll tell you a little bit more about what this panel is about and introduce our speakers. Thanks.
This is going to be a continuation of our discussion, questions, thoughts that we had this morning. Cyrus and Joe are going to focus on experiences related to supported employment. I do want to note that in the United States, transitional employment is recognized by the federal government as part of supported employment. And different states choose to accept that or not. In fact, you can get reimbursed for doing PE using federal dollars. Not every state does that. So we have some interesting dynamics there. The issues of supported employment are becoming more evident in Clubhouse's life and world. Many members are interested in permanent employment. Many members want to find opportunities that are more goal-oriented over the long term, focus on careers, not just the opportunity to just get a job, but really look at employment for life. And we need to be conscious and thoughtful about those discussions and how we enable that process to happen, how we work with employers, what are the goals of the members is going to be an ongoing discussion for us. Cyrus Napolitano is a member of Fountain House who is actively engaged in multimedia projects. He goes back and forth. Advocacy, staff development, and training. He is also a member of the Fountain House Council on Training, Education, and Advocacy. His extensive work experience includes positions in the restaurant industry, including positions in fine dining to general management to including a McDonald's store in Brooklyn. Cyrus has also facilitated peer-to-peer support groups for people living with mood disorders here in Manhattan. He is currently working as the official scanning, this is in quotes, official scanning clerk for the major international law firm Baker and McKenzie.
I don't know what I'm going to say now. You said everything that I was going to say. One, I just want to thank Fountain House for an opportunity that we have here today and tomorrow to talk about employment opportunities and options for members. As somebody who started off on the TE that Francine was working at Baker McKenzie, and we both have had the title of the official scanner at Baker McKenzie, though they have now kind of, I guess, outsourced some of that work. I found out recently from my supervisor, Christine, to where I didn't understand why we only had one partner in the New York office that was actually scanning all of his legal documents into the system, and they actually have just recently instituted their own very confusing, something that neither my supervisor or I can figure out exactly how it works, but that's fine for them. And also that I just found out that I do have some work for the foreseeable future. Luckily, because I thought that I was not going to have a job as not too long ago, because the partner I work for is going to be retiring soon, but he has taken on, thankfully, a caseload of work from a recently retired partner. So I have 73 more cases of work to scan. After that, it's a little iffy. The other thing I wanted to talk about, I guess, is the importance. I think I want to emphasize the importance of work and what it means to the member. And finding ways, I think we all understand it very well in this room, but how do we take that understanding, that knowledge, that wisdom that we have as Clubhouse community, both in the tri-state area, nationally and internationally, and translate that into something where when we meet with a potential employer, that we can say, this is what we are all about. And I think that because of the nature of the economy changing so radically over the past 5 to 6 years, that we've lost such a tremendous amount of TEs, how do we find ways of getting the message out? And I think part of the answer comes from the young lady from Nova Scotia, and Luke talking about technology playing a key role. And it wasn't something that I was planning on talking about, but I have had these discussions where I think it is absolutely necessary for us to find every avenue and every way of, one, making sure that our members understand and know technology to the best of their abilities. So many jobs nowadays require that. I mean, I don't think that I could, if I were to go through a regular hiring process of having to do an Excel spreadsheet, I would fail at that completely. That's something that's just very vital and key. I mean, I have taught myself the software that we use at Baker to do the scanning to the most efficient way possible. But there are limits to that. So I think, again, for me, I think it's planting the seed to have these continuing, ongoing discussions. Perhaps having these forums. One thing that I would like to have seen today is more members in this room. I think we need to hear from the members. As Joe said so well and others earlier today, we need to talk to the members and find out what their wants and needs are. I'm in the process at 52 years of age of having absolutely no clue really as to what this next step is. So the possibility that I, with Alan Doyle yesterday, we're talking about maybe we need some sort of a member mentor of somebody who's already been down this path that can help me or others figure out what the next steps are, because it's very confusing. I haven't had a full-time job since I quit my last one in May of 2001. I've done temp work in the meantime. I've done a lot of volunteer work both here at Fountain House and with another nonprofit peer-to-peer support group here in the city. But that's just not enough. I want more out of life, and I know a lot of other members want more as well. How do we find the ways to meet these needs? I think we need to ask the members, and I don't think we do a good enough job of doing that. I know we have lots of things that happen here at the house, and I'm sure at Venture House and in East New York and in Nova Scotia and Connecticut and Maine, wherever else, members need to be involved in every single step. And I think that requires on the part of staff and the board and here the council at Fountain House and members who are more engaged and active, reaching out to those members who we know that there are other members that need some assistance and help, taking those extra steps, reaching out to those members and finding out what they want, what they need. And I really don't know what else to say about that, because it's confusing and it's very frightening and it's very scary. If you're younger, you're looking at your whole life ahead of you. Me, I sound like I'm really old or something, but it's what do? You want to make a contribution, you want to be productive, you want to make a difference, you want to have meaningful work, you want work that makes sense and makes your life something that you want to do every single day. We don't all have that option in life. That may not be realistic, but it's a goal, it's something that we should strive and reach for every single day, especially in Clubhouse. We need to find ways to educate people, and stigma came up earlier, and yesterday I just happened to run into on YouTube another Glenn Close PSA that she did for the Department of Health and Human Services, and it was wonderful, but I had never seen it elsewhere before. What good is it doing if I just accidentally come across the Glenn Close anti-stigma YouTube video by accident? So I just want to put this out there that we need to really bang our heads, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get something much. Scanning is fine, it's great, it's helping pay the bills, it's helping me help support my father as well. But there's more that I want to do out of life. So I want your assistance, all of you out there in this room today and everybody else who's going to watch this video, perhaps in DVD form. I want your help. I need your help to make my life a success, to be productive, to be a contributing member of society. And I just want to close real quick with back in 2010, Nancy Young had asked me to speak at what we were calling the Opening Doors campaign. And I just wanted, these are the closing remarks that I said to the whole audience, and we had potential employers in the room, and perhaps this is something that all of you can go back to people who you know who might be interested in hiring a Clubhouse member, to say the following: you as the employer have the power of work to shape and transform lives. Work is a great motivator and an incentive to improve one's skills and abilities. You as the employer allow an individual to become a productive member of society. You provide an individual with opportunity. You offer hope. You instill pride and most of all dignity in the individual. It is the right of every man, every woman, and every child to be treated with respect and kindness. And you give Fountain House members, Clubhouse members around the country, around the world, the chance to reform and reshape their lives and ongoing recovery. So if there's one thing I want you to take away today from all of this, is, here I said the tagline was Fountain House Dignity and Hope. It's Clubhouse Community Dignity and Hope. We have to get that message about that. These people who are asking to hire members, you are providing dignity to the individual. Do you understand what that actually means when you give somebody dignity that they didn't have before because they suffer from a severe mental illness, they've been homeless, they may be addicted to alcohol or drugs? Just because you have that in your life does not devalue who you are as an individual. We have to get the message out, and if I have to go out there dancing naked down the street, it's not a pretty sight to get the message out there. I'm at the point that if people could ride the bikes yesterday here in the city to do the naked bike ride, I think I'd be willing to do that as well. So will you join me in being naked down 9th Avenue or in Times Square to get people jobs?
Sure.